So today I'm talking about Butcher Baker, his story maker, Stories from the Kitchen in Verse by Tru Dowling. Now this is a very odd one for me, and I don't know, like I do read a big mix, you know. So like fantasy is definitely my love and my passion. It's my favorite genre I love to dive into, but I read around quite a lot, and actually I don't think I read that much fantasy as much as I'd like to anymore for some strange reason. But this one was definitely very different for me because it's poetry, it's verse. Now Tru Dowling is an amazing poet I met at a poets breakfast organised by GV Writers Group here in the Golden Valley Writers Group, and yeah, it was just brilliant. I sat next to her on the table and didn't realise she was the sort of guest of honour, the poet of honour, and yeah, we just had this incredible conversation, which you tend to do with writers and interesting people, and she just intrigued me. And then she got up and read, and it was just really incredible, her different array of poetry and poems. She read a couple from this particular book, she read some older stuff, she read some new stuff, and it was really beautiful. I actually, through GV Writers Group, Golden Valley Writers Group, I actually do see and I'm exposed to a number of brilliant poets who regularly read their work. But to actually sit down and read a whole book of verse like this is not something I'd ever really done before, but it's genuinely worth it. The story centers on, it's like dedicated to her father, and it's her father tales, and it cuts around central Victoria, sort of the Castlemaine goldfields, and then around the 1940s, 1947 is the date, particularly flashes up a number of times. So it's around that era, but then it's also in the 2011s and stuff. So she has stories and poems dedicated or about him, through his early life and later life, and it was really unique. It was like I said, it's a very not my kind of read, but it was a really good read. It was a really beautiful read. Something I don't think I'll run out and buy more poetry, but it's not something I would turn my nose up either, you know. And I would definitely, if you had the chance to hear Tru read her poetry, I would jump at that chance. She's incredibly, you know, I don't know, reciting her poetry was so beautiful, and definitely inspired me to buy the book. And yeah, it was a great little read, something I highly recommend. So Butcher Baker, his story maker, Stories from the Kitchen in Verse, Tru Dowling. Definitely a good little gem. It was a nice easy read compared to some of the books I've read recently, but yeah, it was absolutely beautiful little read. Poetry lovers, definitely recommend it. And if you want to challenge yourself to something a little bit different, I read a lot of different stuff, but this is certainly a very different one for me. Highly recommend it. Happy reading, subscribe and follow for more.